Welcome to the Dare to Share Challenge. We are on day 2 of the August lineup, and we have another incredible guest joining us, taking to the stage as she dares to share. Lona Fink, welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much, Claire. I'm super excited to be here today.
I'm super excited to have you with us all the way from Florida. I love it.
Yes, all the way from South Florida, although I was born in Minnesota, so I know how cold weather can be, but definitely choosing to live down here in South Florida now. Yes.
Amazing. I love it. So for you guys watching, if you've just stumbled across this show and you're wondering, dare to share? Dare to share what? Dare to share why? The Dare to Share Challenge is all about the Real and the Raw Leaders movement. It's all about leaders taking to this stage and daring to share their own truth, their own story, their own vulnerability. Why? So that we see the human behind the perception. So that we remove all of the smoke and the mirrors, we draw back the curtains, and we realize that actually we're not so different after all. And if they can achieve it and go after their dreams and keep showing up whilst navigating this crazy thing called life, then so can you. So Lona, I would love to ask you before we dive in, what made you want to be part of this challenge? Because for some people, they're like, this is amazing, but I don't want to come on the stage. But you were like, yes, get me on there.
I will tell you, it's because my story, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to relate to, especially women. And it has to do with a late age diagnosis of ADHD at age 47.
Oh my God. I kid you not. This is not rehearsed for you guys watching. I literally interviewed Hannah Roper this morning, and she was talking about late diagnosis ADHD as well. So this is obviously a message that needs to come through at the moment. I love this. Okay, let's move right on because this is going to be great. Lona, I want to ask you, what level of vulnerability are you opting for today? So we have the stretchy level, which is about something that you've experienced, something that you've overcome in your life. It's your hero's journey. It's your personal story of triumph and tribulations that you've navigated your way out of, and you're now on the other side. Or we have the stretchy level, which is something that you're experiencing and navigating in real time, right now, behind the scenes. Where are you going to take us today?
I'll probably do a little bit of both because I think it's important to show where I am today, but I know I'm still in the middle of it.
Love that. We love the messy middle. Because that's where the power is. The power is always in the messy middle. I love this. Okay, let's dive in. So we have 2 questions to ask Lona today. I'm going to ask her first and foremost, what does being a real and a raw leader mean to her? Shall we find out? So Lona, what does being a real and a raw leader mean to you? And we're not just talking about in business, okay? We're talking about the woman, the human, the person who lives life every single day. What does that realness and that rawness really mean to you in your life?
The crazy thing is, up until I was diagnosed with ADHD 2 years ago, I never saw myself as a leader, ever. I saw myself as someone in corporate America that's just going to continue to go through the motions every single day. Sure, I might be an individual contributor and being able to do as much as I was able to do. Yes, leading maybe some initiatives, but it wasn't ever truly leading a group of people and helping them understand and being the inspiration for them to be better. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed with ADHD that I found myself stepping into a leadership role within Toastmasters International, which is a public speaking forum. And a year prior, I had frozen on Zoom and said I would never be in public speaking and I would never be in leadership. And all of a sudden, I'm now the president of a brand new Toastmasters club that no one knows what we're doing. And so they were looking to me for leadership. I remember feeling like I had to be perfect, right? And they count the ahs and ums filler words, they call it. So my version of perfect was having a beautiful presentation and then pulling up the presentation in presenter view and then literally reading my script to them. And I'm talking what they were seeing were my eyes go back and forth. Sure, I had my facial gestures and I was able to move my hands around, but I wasn't engaging with the audience at all. I was literally in that presenter view. They saw the beautiful screen. And when it was done, maybe I didn't have any filler words, but there was no connection with the audience. Right? So here I am leading them and then not truly showing them what a leader is. And a leader, in my opinion, is someone who leads from their heart. They have a message to share. And they want whoever is on the receiving end of that message to feel that inspiration, to feel the message throughout their body, not just receive it at a superficial level. Mm-hmm. I feel that we were put in leadership to help everyone understand that you don't have to be perfect. In fact, it's better if you're not perfect, because when you're not perfect, you're going to resonate with everyone else. They're going to feel like they can connect with you. I tell everyone today, put the filler words in. Don't stress about them. There are some very accomplished speakers right now that have to purposely put the filler words back in to connect with the audience. Imagine that, right? For years, they've been told to pull them out and be perfect. But if they're in that different level, someone's pulling out their cell phone because they don't want to be bothered listening to someone who's perfect.
Yes. Oh my
In my opinion, it's better to be yourself and just be as imperfect as you are. And again, lead with your heart.
Oh my gosh. This is exactly what the Real and the Raw Leaders movement is all about. It's about showing that humanness, because that is the thing that connects us with other people, because no one is perfect. So why try and make out that we are? I absolutely love that. So if you guys watching, what I got out of that is it's about being perfectly imperfect. Like Lona said, it's showcasing the human, showing that it's okay if I mess up, because everyone messes up and I'm still here and I'm still showing up and I'm still giving it my all. I love that so much. Beautiful, Lona.
Thank you. I have to tell you, today, just 2 years after joining Toastmasters International, I currently lead 21 clubs and over 400 members.
Wow.
So if you can imagine someone who is literally frozen on Zoom 3 years ago, was giving up public speaking and leadership and said, oh, I never, ever am I going to do that again. Okay. Something else everyone needs to hear. Don't say the word never. Because as soon as you say the word never, I feel like you've just put an exclamation point on whatever, right? So it's going to happen. And now I'm loving being able to lead others and be that inspiration, because I know everyone's journey is different and I never want them to feel like it has to be the same way. We're all individuals, and what's important is we all have a story to share.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Which takes us into the main question of today. So for you guys watching, I always like to set the precipice that I never know what any of the guests are gonna share with us. I'm equally as surprised and eager as you are to hear what they have to say. But the emphasis is on showcasing their own vulnerability, right? Getting out of their own comfort zone, not just sharing things that they share every day of the week. We can go onto their Instagrams and see that. We want to see behind the scenes. We want to see the human behind the perception. So with that being said, Lona, what are you willing to dare to share with us all today?
The dare to share is really coming out with that ADHD diagnosis. And the reason for that, and why it's so vitally important for me and other people to hear about this, is for years I struggled. And I didn't realize I was struggling. My husband has attention deficit disorder. He's been on a treatment plan ever since I've known him. We've been married 28 years. For 25 years, he kept saying to me, honey, you need to get tested. Honey, maybe you should go. And I'm like, honey, I'm fine. Just leave me alone. But then in the next breath, it's too much. I need a divorce, right? Because, but he knew me. He knew that wasn't what I was asking for, right? I was just at my end. The same week I was diagnosed with ADHD, I was in the middle of kicking off this brand new Toastmasters club. And that weekend, both of my parents were in a head-on collision. Now, I'm going to tell you, luckily they've survived and they've already had 2 anniversaries since then. But I'm here to tell you, there is no way without the treatment plan I was on, would I have been able to handle everything I was able to handle the way I was able to handle it. Because with the treatment for my ADHD, all of a sudden I'm able to tap into different superpowers that I call them when I need them, or my super traits. And one of them is definitely resilience, right? How much can you take and still function at the level you need to function? You need to be a mom. You need to be a wife. You need to be a daughter. You need to be a caretaker. I'm also Gigi. I'm a grand dog, right? So I needed to be able to be there for everyone. And what I'm understanding also, though, is it's important to be there for myself first. Another thing I want everyone listening to take away is you're not being selfish when you take time for yourself. You can't be the best for everyone else without doing that first. So when you're able to take 15 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't care if you're going to sit down and do meditation, if you're going to work out, whatever your morning routine is to get yourself set up for the day, it's something I do religiously because I know how essential it is for me to be at my best in order to give my best. Doesn't mean I'm selfish, doesn't mean I don't care about the rest of the family. It couldn't be further than the truth. But I have to tell you, there's so many women today and men that struggle with, oh, I have to be everywhere, and then I'm not taking care of myself. And then all of a sudden you get run down and you can't function. You potentially end up stressed out with a heart attack in the hospital. I mean, it's just, there's so many horrible things that could happen that maybe if you're able to focus on yourself and take that 10, 15, 20 minutes and just pull it back in, that all of a sudden things are going to happen the way they need to happen.
Wow, I love that. So can I ask you, what was the turning point to make you actually get tested? So you said that you resisted that for so long. Why the change of heart?
Well, I felt like I was constantly running and constantly doing things. And at work, I had found out that, there's something called strengths and weaknesses, and we all know what they are, right? I mean, come on, I could ask you for your strengths and weaknesses and you would give them to me. But it was explained to me this way. A strength is something that you're good at that gives you energy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm great at this. I'm great at one-on-ones. I'm great at coaching. I'm great at all of these additional things. Perfect. Now you know what you're great at, what gives you energy. But then your weakness is what you're good at, but it drains your energy. And Claire, a light bulb went off in my head. I'm great at project management. I'm great at spreadsheets and organize and everything else. But oh my gosh, at the end of the day, I just felt like I was completely drained, right? So now after 27 years in corporate America, I'm in a role that I don't love. I literally sent an email to my manager saying, I need to start looking for another role internally because I need to do something for me and really truly play at my strengths, right? Not that I'm not good at it. It just, what else was I doing to supplement? So when all of that happened, I think I was working probably almost 50 to 60 hours a week when I got tested, because while it was great and I was able to do my day job, I was doing all these additional things to try to pull in what I wasn't getting and needing, right, from that day job. So I just did a personal test myself, And then I sent it in, and I had obviously a consultation with the nurse practitioner. And then at the end of our call, I said to her, I said, so what do you think? Do you think I have ADHD? She said, Lana, within 2 minutes, I had diagnosed with ADHD.
I didn't even need to see the questionnaire.
It's like, I'll go through it later, but just talking to you and listening to you, and I don't know how many people you know with ADHD, but we tend to jump from here to here to here to here. And in our minds, we can connect it all because there was one thread that went through everything, but everyone else is like, okay, how did you get over here? Right? And we're like, oh, let me show you. So now it will make sense.
Oh my
all
God,
of a sudden,
so much.
it's and growing up thinking about this, there's no doubt my mom has ADHD and her mom, right? Like there's no doubt in my mind. My brother has it, not diagnosed, but I know he has it also. And so it's interesting now to see the signs.
Yeah.
But for me to be able to sit back and, like I said, for the past 2 years, really harness some of those things like resilience, creativity, leadership. I never wanted to step into leadership. And now I'm leading 400 people on their Toastmasters journey. Me, the person who froze on 3 years ago and said I would never be in public speaking. Now I'm a leader in the district level. It's a little weird. Like I keep pinching myself every morning when I wake up. And on top of that, my coaching company is actually a communication coaching company, helping everyone with their communication skills and get out of the box and feel good about themselves and have that confidence, possibly even go on the TEDx stage, right? So all of these amazing things that they can do. And that was something I wouldn't have done 3 years ago. Thank God for the diagnosis 2 years ago. And it would be 2 years in October, actually.
Wow.
That I was diagnosed.
I love this so much. And you guys watching, whether you have ADHD or not, or whether you're undiagnosed, I've had so many conversations with so many incredible leaders around ADHD specifically. And I think people say, why is it becoming more common? I don't think it's becoming more common. It's just becoming more awareness around it. So we actually know what it is. And it gives us that weight, right? It lifts that weight off of our shoulders. And, oh, I'm not crazy after all. This is just part of who I am.
Yes. And like someone said, right? I mean, we take medicine for cholesterol. We take medicine for triglycerides. We take medicine if it's anything health related, right? I do for my heart. Okay. Why wouldn't you also take medicine, potentially if you were open to it, to help harness things and put things into a perspective where you are not only able to function, but flourish? And then potentially even inspire others to do the same. This, to me, it's almost like a passion for me, is to really tell this story, because so many people just think it's normal to feel like they're on this hamster wheel, especially women, because I know I was responsible for all the doctor's visits, all of the extracurricular activities, all of this. I mean, and the house, laundry, dishes, cleaning. I mean, think about it, right? All the things that we're responsible for. And we're like, oh, this is just us. Well, yes, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can even be fun.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, housekeeping can be fun. You just have to find a way to pull it in and make it manageable so that you feel good doing it. That was my biggest thing. It was, how can I really help others understand that, having this ADHD diagnosis doesn't mean that I'm any less, right? It doesn't mean that I should be, put in some area that says, oh, put an X on them. They can't be in leadership. And I'm going to be honest, in corporate America, I was told I was too passionate for corporate America. Wow. This is over 10 years ago. She said, you don't belong here. And she was right.
Yeah.
Because I care so much about the clients and the customers. I'm not saying I have a hard time balancing with the bottom line, but if I feel something in my heart should be a certain way, I need to really figure out how to explain that and get my head around it if it needs to change, right? I mean, it's not always easy to pull those two parts together. And that's why for me, now, this is where it is. I need to help others understand the opportunity they have and what's out there for them. And they might feel like I felt almost like I was living in a fog, if you will. And it was completely gray. And now it's vibrant and it's bright and there's colors. And I feel like, honestly, anything's possible. But it's only because of that treatment plan I'm on. Otherwise, no, you can absolutely tell if I've had my medication or not in the morning. My kids are like, Mom, I love you, but you're a little bit all over the place.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I'm writing so many notes here because this is just such an incredible share. I feel like anything is possible. I mean, that's such a great quote. I might even call the show this. Lona, thank you so much for sharing that with us today, because it is a topic that is widely discussed but not in depth. And I think especially as entrepreneurs and as businesswomen and as CEOs of our lives as well as our businesses, right, and our livelihoods, we get lumbered with so much, like Lona said. And knowing that you can find a way through, you can navigate it all, you are capable of holding so much more than you realize, but not in a way that hinders you or that bogs you down, but in a way that enhances you and even amplifies your creativity and your expression. I absolutely love this share. It's so incredible. Lona, can you please tell everyone where they can find you and how they can get in your incredible world?
Sure. They can go ahead and go to elevateauthentically.com. That's my website. I love to be able to help with, like I said, communication coaching, or if they just even want to talk about their experience with ADHD, I'm happy to explain. I was on a call last night or the other night, someone called me and she's like, can I just talk to you for a minute? I said, sure. She said, you were sharing the other night about your ADHD experience, and I think I might have it. Can you share with me a little bit more about what happened? I'm like, oh my gosh, if there's one person that I can help with my story, just one. Can you imagine the ripple effect that we could have across the world, right? And we're talking across the world, which is amazing to begin with. Yeah. Another thing they can do is I do have a digital business card. So if they go to tapmate.com, TAPM, the number 8.com/LFINK, they'll go ahead and they'll be able to receive all of my Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook channels, and really be able to connect with me there also. I love really, truly being able to help everyone understand they have a voice. What they've gone through absolutely matters. The question is, how can they feel confident enough to potentially share it? And if they're not okay to share it, that's fine, but feel good about it internally themselves. Mm-hmm. Because so many times we're all holding on to things and you feel like there's something that maybe in your past that shouldn't have happened. And you're like, okay, well, it shouldn't have happened, but you don't always have to hold on to it forever. It can still be there. But like I said to someone earlier today, it's there, but it's sealed behind a clear wall. Right. Yeah. So it can't hurt you anymore. Right. Like it's there, it's there. It's fine. But now we're able to embrace what we have in front of us. We're able to really, truly focus on the future and know that anything is possible. You just have to truly believe.
Oh, I love this so much. All of the show notes, all of the links will be in the show notes below, so don't panic. You can go and check Lona out on any of those details. Lona, thank you so much for joining us, for daring to share with us today, for showcasing your own real and raw leadership, and for going first like the true leader that you are. And for you guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you share this with someone who needs to hear this story. Let us know in the comments how this impacted you, what golden nuggets it's given you, how you're going to implement things that you've learned from Lona's own experience. Let us know. We want to hear from you, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.